I want to talk to you about something that might seem counterintuitive at first. When I say do nothing and watch how everything falls into place, I'm not suggesting you become lazy or passive. I'm talking about a profound truth that most people miss their entire lives. They're so busy doing, chasing, and trying to control outcomes that they miss the incredible power that comes from a specific type of doing nothing. Think about this. Have you ever noticed how the harder you push for something, the more it seems to slip away? You want that relationship, that job, that opportunity so badly that you chase and chase until you're exhausted. And somehow it remains just out of reach. Then one day you let go. You stop trying so hard. And suddenly, as if by magic, it shows up in your life. That's not coincidence. That's not luck. That's a fundamental law of how reality works. And today, I want to show you exactly why this happens and how you can use this understanding to completely transform your life. Most people live in a constant state of stress and anxiety. They wake up and within minutes, their mind is racing with worries about the future or regrets about the past. They're thinking about bills to pay, problems to solve, people to please. And this state of being, this emotional cocktail of fear, worry, and stress sends a clear signal to the universe. This is who I am. See, most people don't realize they're creating their future from their past. They wake up, remember who they are based on yesterday's experiences, and then project that same person into tomorrow. They're thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same feelings, making the same choices, and they wonder why nothing in their life changes. What if I told you that the thoughts you think and the feelings you experience are literally programming your future? Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's happening in your environment and what's happening in your mind. So when you constantly think about your problems, you're actually telling your brain to create more of those exact same conditions in your life. Let me explain how this works on a scientific level. Quantum physics has shown us that everything in the universe is made of energy vibrating at different frequencies. Your thoughts and emotions have measurable energy signatures. When you think a thought, you're sending out an electromagnetic signal. When you feel an emotion, you're broadcasting a chemical signal through your body and an energetic signal out into the field around you. Together, these signals create your state of being. And this state of being is constantly communicating with the quantum field of all possibility. Most people don't realize they're in constant communication with the field through their thoughts, feelings, and state of being. They're unconsciously creating their reality moment by moment. So when I say do nothing, what I really mean is stop operating from your familiar limited identity that's based on the past. Stop sending out the same old signals that keep creating the same old results in your life. Instead, I want you to learn how to enter a powerful state of being where creation happens naturally, without effort or struggle. Here's what we know from our research and from the thousands of people I've worked with around the world. When you change your energy, you change your life. And to change your energy, you need to break free from the emotional addictions that have been running your life on autopilot. Did you know that most people are addicted to their emotions? They're addicted to feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, worried, or angry. These feelings have become so familiar that their bodies actually crave them. The body has been conditioned to expect certain chemical signals, and it will do whatever it takes to get another fix. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to slip back into old patterns? You make a decision to be more patient or positive, and for a little while you succeed. Then something triggers you, and before you know it, you're right back where you started. That's because your body is addicted to certain emotional states, and it will create situations to get those familiar feelings again. Breaking free from emotional addiction is the first step to true freedom and creation. You have to become aware of your unconscious patterns. You have to catch yourself in the act of automatically responding to life from your past programming. And this is where the magic of doing nothing begins. When I talk about doing nothing, I'm talking about creating a space between stimulus and response. I'm talking about stepping out of automatic reactions and into conscious creation. This requires a specific practice, a way of quieting the analytical mind, disengaging from the external environment, letting go of your body's connection to time, and entering a new state of being. The analytical mind is constantly scanning your environment, comparing the present moment to past memories, trying to predict what will happen next. It's always busy, always working, always on alert. This is useful for survival, but it's terrible for creation. Creation happens when you can quiet the analytical mind and access the subconscious mind, the operating system, where all your automatic programs are stored. The subconscious mind is 1,000,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. It's running most of your life without you even realizing it. Your habits, beliefs, emotional reactions, these are all programs in your subconscious mind. And here's the amazing thing. You can reprogram your subconscious mind through specific meditation practices. When you sit in meditation and you combine a clear intention with an elevated emotion, you're speaking the language of the subconscious mind. You're telling it what you want to experience, and you're providing the energy for that experience to manifest. This is how you begin to create your future before it happens. But most people try to create from a place of lack or need. They're saying, I want this, because they don't have it. And that very energy of wanting, of needing, of lacking is what keeps pushing their desire away. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you're being. So instead of focusing on what's missing from your life, I want you to practice becoming the person who already has what you desire. I want you to feel the feelings of already having that relationship, that health, that abundance. When you generate those elevated emotions in the present moment, gratitude, joy, freedom, love, you're sending a signal to the field that says, this is who I am now. And this is where coherence comes in. Coherence happens when your thoughts and feelings are aligned. When you're thinking about abundance and feeling abundant at the same time, you're in a coherent state. When you're thinking about health and feeling healthy, you're in a coherent state. This coherence amplifies your signal to the universe. It makes your communication with the field crystal clear. We've measured this in our workshops using heart rate variability monitors. When someone enters a state of heart coherence during meditation, their heart rhythm becomes smooth and harmonious. This coherent heart signal affects their brain waves, their immune system, their hormones. It affects every cell in their body. And this coherent signal extends beyond their body into the field around them. So here's a practice I recommend you do every morning before you start your day. Sit in a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Begin to withdraw your attention from the external environment. Let go of the people in your life, the places you need to go, the things you need to do. Let go of your connection to your body by becoming aware of the space around your body. Then bring your attention to your heart. The heart is not just a pump, it's an intelligence center. It has its own neural network. It produces hormones. It generates a measurable electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond your body. When you place your attention on your heart, you begin to activate this intelligence center. As you focus on your heart, begin to generate a feeling of gratitude or appreciation. Think of something or someone you're truly thankful for and feel that thankfulness in your body. Notice how this elevated emotion changes your energy. Notice how it opens you to new possibilities. From this coherent, elevated state, begin to imagine your new future as if it's happening now. See yourself living that reality. Feel what it would feel like to be that version of yourself. Don't just think about it, really embody it. Let those feelings become so real that your brain and body begin to believe the experience is happening right now. Let me tell you about a woman named Lily who came to one of our advanced workshops. Lily had been diagnosed with a serious autoimmune condition. The doctors told her there was no cure, that she would need to take medication for the rest of her life. But Lily decided to apply these principles every day. She would sit in meditation and create a clear picture of what perfect health would look and feel like. She would generate feelings of gratitude, joy, and wholeness, even while her physical body was still showing signs of disease. After 4 months of daily practice, Lily went back to her doctor for tests. The doctor was shocked to find that all markers of her autoimmune condition had disappeared. There was no medical explanation for this change, but from a quantum perspective, it makes perfect sense. Lily had changed her energy signature so completely that her body had no choice but to respond with healing. Or consider Michael, a business owner who had been struggling for years to keep his company afloat. Michael was constantly worried about money, constantly stressed about the future. This stress was affecting his sleep, his relationships, his health. During one of our workshops, Michael learned how to shift his energy from fear to gratitude. He learned how to create a clear vision of abundance and success, and how to feel the feelings of that success before it manifested. Within 3 months of consistent practice, Michael's business began to turn around. New clients appeared seemingly out of nowhere. Opportunities for expansion arose that he couldn't have predicted. His revenue doubled, then tripled. And the most remarkable thing was how effortless it felt. He wasn't working harder. In fact, he was working less. He had simply changed his energy, and his external reality rearranged itself to match. This is why consistency is so important. It takes time to create new neural networks. It takes repetition to strengthen these connections until they become your default way of being. But with daily practice, you can literally change your brain. You can create a new mind, and a new mind will create a new life. So how do you know if you're making progress? How do you know if your practice is working? The answer is simple. Pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that show up in your life. When you change your energy, the universe will respond with feedback. You'll start to notice meaningful coincidences. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time. You'll meet people who can help you on your journey. These synchronicities are confirmation that you're on the right track. But there's a catch. To receive these new experiences, you have to be willing to step into the unknown. You have to be willing to let go of the known, your familiar past, your comfortable identity, your habitual ways of thinking and feeling. And this can be scary. Your body, which has become accustomed to certain chemical signals, will resist this change. It will try to pull you back to familiar territory. This is why so many people get stuck in the same patterns year after year. They say they want change, but they're not willing to become uncomfortable. They're not willing to face the uncertainty that comes with growth. They keep one foot in the future they desire and one foot in the past they know. And in this split energy, nothing can truly transform. To create real change, you have to fully commit to the unknown. You have to be willing to let go of who you've been and step fully into who you're becoming. This requires trust. It requires surrender. It requires faith that when you change your energy, the universe will respond accordingly. And this is where most people get stuck. They want guarantees. They want to see the evidence before they'll believe. But that's not how creation works. In the quantum world, you have to believe before you can see. You have to feel the feelings of your future reality before that reality can materialize. This is backwards from how most people try to create their lives. Most people live in survival mode. They're constantly scanning their environment for problems to solve, threats to avoid. Their thoughts and feelings are dominated by stress, worry, and fear. And from this survival state, creation is impossible. Creation happens when you move from survival mode to creation mode. In survival mode, your energy is focused on protecting what you have, on maintaining the status quo. In creation mode, your energy is focused on growth, on possibility, on becoming more. The shift from survival to creation is a fundamental shift in how you use your energy. And here's the formula for making this shift. Thoughts plus feelings equals test. Your thoughts combined with your feelings create a state of being, and this state of being will be tested by your external reality. If your thoughts say, I am abundant, but your feelings say, I'm worried about money, you're sending a mixed signal to the field. Your external reality will reflect this confusion. But when your thoughts and feelings are aligned, when you're in a coherent state, your test will confirm your new reality. This is why it's so important to monitor your internal state throughout the day. It's not enough to do the morning meditation practice. You have to maintain that elevated state as you move through your life. When challenges arise, and they will, see them as opportunities to demonstrate your new state of being. Instead of reacting with your old emotional patterns, pause. Take a breath. Remember who you're becoming. Choose a response that aligns with your new state of being. This is how you pass the test. This is how you prove to yourself and to the universe that you've truly changed. And remember, the universe is always saying yes. It's always reflecting back to you who you're being. If you don't like what you're seeing in your life, don't try to change the reflection. Change the source of the reflection. Change your thoughts, change your feelings, change your state of being. and then watch how everything around you begins to shift. This is the true meaning of do nothing and watch how everything falls into place. It's not about being passive, it's about understanding that real change happens from the inside out. It's about directing your energy towards being rather than doing. It's about trusting that when you become a new person, you'll attract new experiences that match your new energy signature. So I invite you to try this approach. Start with a daily meditation practice where you combine clear intention with elevated emotion. Throughout your day, catch yourself when you slip back into old patterns and consciously choose a different response. Look for the signs and synchronicities that show you're on the right track. And most importantly, trust the process. Trust that when you change your energy, your life must change as well. Remember, you're not just a physical being having an occasional spiritual experience. You're a spiritual being having a physical experience. You're a creator of your reality, whether you realize it or not. Every thought, every feeling, every choice is sending a signal to the quantum field. Every moment is an opportunity to create something new. So what signal are you sending right now? Are your thoughts and feelings aligned with what you want to create, or are they keeping you stuck in the same old patterns? Are you living from the memories of your past, or are you living from the vision of your future? These are important questions to ask yourself regularly. The truth is, most people never realize how powerful they really are. They give their power away to their environment, to their past, to other people's expectations. They let external circumstances determine their internal state. And in doing so, they remain stuck in the same reality year after year. But you have a choice. You can decide right now to take back your power. You can decide to no longer be at the mercy of your environment or your past conditioning. You can decide to become the conscious creator of your life. And this decision alone can change everything. You truly understand that your thoughts and feelings are creating your reality. You become much more careful about what you think and how you feel. You stop complaining. You stop blaming. You stop focusing on what's wrong. Instead, you direct your energy towards what you want to create. You focus on possibilities rather than problems. You choose thoughts and feelings that align with your desires rather than your fears. And as you practice this new way of being, something remarkable happens. The gap between what you desire and what you experience begins to close. Manifestation becomes faster, more direct. Life begins to flow with an ease and grace that seems magical. Opportunities appear at just the right time. Resources show up when you need them. The right people come into your life to help you on your journey. This isn't magic, it's science. It's the law of resonance in action. Like attracts like. Energy attracts matching energy. When you change your energy signature through consistent practice, you begin to resonate with new possibilities, new people, new circumstances that match your new vibration. So let's talk about the energy centers in your body, because understanding these centers can help you maintain your creative state throughout the day. You have 7 major energy centers that run from the base of your spine to the top of your head. Each of these centers corresponds to specific emotions, specific states of being. The first energy center at the base of your spine is associated with survival, with safety and security. When this center is in balance, you feel grounded, stable, secure. When it's out of balance, you feel fearful, anxious, worried about your basic needs. The second center in your lower abdomen is associated with creativity, sexuality, and passion. When this center is in balance, you feel creative, passionate, full of vitality. When it's out of balance, you might feel emotionally reactive, possessive, or lacking in creative energy. The third center in your solar plexus is associated with personal power, confidence, and self-esteem. When this center is in balance, you feel confident, empowered, clear about your purpose. When it's out of balance, you might feel controlling, angry, or powerless. The fourth center in your heart is associated with love, compassion, and connection. When this center is in balance, you feel loving, compassionate, connected to others. When it's out of balance, you might feel isolated, resentful, or closed off from love. The fifth center in your throat is associated with communication, expression, and truth. When this center is in balance, you express yourself clearly and authentically. When it's out of balance, you might struggle to speak your truth or to be heard by others. The sixth center in your forehead between your eyebrows is associated with intuition, insight, and vision. When this center is in balance, you trust your intuition and can see the bigger picture. When it's out of balance, you might feel confused, indecisive, or unable to access your intuitive wisdom. And the seventh center, the top of your head, is associated with connection to something greater than yourself, to universal consciousness. When this center is in balance, you feel a deep sense of connection to all of life, a sense of oneness and unity. When it's out of balance, you might feel disconnected, isolated, or lacking in meaning and purpose. Understanding these energy centers gives you a map for maintaining your creative state. Throughout your day, check in with these centers. Notice where you might be blocked or out of balance. Use your breath and your attention to bring energy and awareness to any centers that feel closed or constricted. And most importantly, trust the process. Trust that when you change your energy, your life must change as well. Trust that the universe is always responding to who you're being. Trust that as you maintain a coherent, elevated state, everything around you will rearrange itself to match your new vibration. This trust, this surrender, is the final piece of the puzzle. It's what allows you to truly do nothing while creation happens through you. It's what allows you to release the need to control outcomes, to force solutions, to make things happen through sheer will and effort. It's what allows you to step into the flow of life, where synchronicity and magic become your new normal. So I invite you to try this approach, not just once, not just when it's convenient, but as a way of life. I invite you to become the conscious creator of your reality, to understand and apply these principles consistently until they become second nature. I invite you to experience for yourself what happens when you do nothing from a place of lack or fear, and instead create everything from a place of wholeness, joy, and love. The choice is yours. You can continue to live from the programs of your past, reacting to life from conditioned patterns, or you can step into your power as a creator, consciously choosing your thoughts, your feelings, your state of being. You can struggle and strive and push, or you can align your energy with your desires and watch as the universe brings them to you with ease and grace. Remember, you're not just a physical being limited by time and space. You're a quantum being connected to the field of all possibility. Your thoughts and feelings are communicating with this field in every moment. They're either keeping you stuck in familiar patterns or opening you to new possibilities. The choice is yours. And it's a choice you make not once, but moment by moment, day by day. So what will you choose? Will you continue to do from a place of lack? Or will you learn to be, to become, to embody your desires before they manifest? Will you continue to live in reaction to your environment? Or will you create your environment from the inside out? The answer to these questions will determine the quality of your life, the nature of your experiences, the reality you create for yourself. And the beautiful thing is, you can change your answer at any moment. You can choose a new way of being right now. And in that choice, set in motion a new future. So I encourage you, do nothing from a place of lack or fear. Do nothing from a place of struggle or control. Instead, do everything from a place of wholeness, of joy, of love. Align your energy with your desires. Become the person who already has what you want, and then watch how everything falls into place, how the universe conspires to make your vision a reality, how life becomes a series of synchronicities and magical moments that you couldn't have planned if you tried.